but I don't really expect this to be that competitive of a series going forward. I don't really expect Ja Morant to be able to replicate a 47-point game. Donovan Mitchell is only going to get further integrated into this rotation, and Utah is still just a machine
Yeah.
when all of its pieces are there. Like, if you send any sort of help on a pick and roll, Mike Conley or Donovan Mitchell is going to find the open guy, and they're going to make the shot or swing for an even easier one. This offense in particular is a machine, and the Grizzlies, much like basically every other team in the NBA, don't really have a way to play Rudy Gobert off the court.
And look, the other thing, their pick and roll defense in game 2 was non-existent. Not just bad, it didn't exist. And look, I think it was encouraging Donovan Mitchell, the performance he had. You could tell the timing was sort of off, and even just looking at his passes, like still getting his feel back. But for a first game after missing a month plus in the playoffs, against a defense like the Grizzlies, important. I wonder if was Mike Conley's sort of injury problems last year a blessing in disguise, where he didn't play as much, and now he's just so friggin' fresh. And 15 assists. He's so good.
And they were like pinpoint. This was not like, since we're complimenting Utah, I'll throw out a Utah comparison. This was not like padding the stat books with John Stockton assists.
I thought you said we were complimenting Utah.
I know, and then I said that I could afford to make that comparison.
Well, I don't know
because we're already gassing them up a little bit.
When we eviscerated one of their fans just at the earlier of this pod,
right? Right.
Mike Conley's floater game was just on point, though, in that game. Sorry, I forgot to turn the volume off on a video that was next to the shot chart that I was looking at. 5 of 9 on twos outside the restricted area, but inside the paint. 5 of 10 overall on just twos outside the restricted area. Still just so good. And I know it's only the Grizzlies, but I think my impressions where I thought Utah might be, I don't want to say a paper tiger, but I didn't think they were going to win the title, and they're not my pick. They're probably more threatening.
They're still my pick.
If they win the title, you're going to look awfully good. Rudy Gobert is just dominant. There's just no, what is the team that can defend Rudy Gobert? Maybe the Lakers. If they face the Clippers in the next round, by the way, they're going to chew through them with the way that the Clippers have been defending.
Dan, I just love that sentence, though, that you said, how can they defend Rudy Gobert? Because he is that good on offense.
Well,
and I get why people don't
too.
like him all the time. Right. I get why people don't like him all the time, because he does flop.
He does complain. Game 1, did you see that?
It was bad. Oh, yeah. It was terrible. And he does that fairly frequently. You know, the whole touching all the microphones and shutting down the whole NBA things and some of the comments that he's made. Like, I understand why he rubs people the wrong way. But there is not enough appreciation for just how good he is on both ends of the floor. And it's about way more than the screen assists, which, you know, a lot of people like to make fun of, even though they're valuable. He's a deadly roll man. He's a good offensive rebounder. He is a very underrated passer. Again, the screens are really impactful. He's so good on the offensive end, despite not scoring that much. He can completely control a game and still score.
Yeah, the Jazz are a threat, and their path to let's say the Western Conference Finals at least looks a lot rosier now, because I still think that I don't know that they're defending Doncic will be a problem for them, but like the Mavericks defending them might actually be harder than them defending the Clippers right now. And if they do for some reason face the Clippers, who came back, with the way that LA has defended, they're going to be mincemeat for Utah.
Utah was a top 5 offense all year long.
Let's
not forget that.
Even when their offense has been bad in playoffs past, not so much last year, but Mitchell's first 2 seasons in the league, they were still generating really high quality shots. That's what their offense does. Now it's just, you have so many guys who are going to knock them down. Between Bojan Bogdanovic, between Mike Conley, between Joe Ingles, Donovan Mitchell even. If someone has an off night, there's just like, I think there's a limit to their real shot creation. Donovan Mitchell is so important to them to do that, even when you have Conley and Bojan Bogdanovic and Ingles. But there's just always going to be someone else who is making threes.